You can see the power of sports bringing so many people together. It's about friendship and the way three former Hogs truly live every day, not taking anything for granted. At the center of the story is Tim Siegel's son, Luke.
Give a warm shout of welcome to Mr. Siegel.
Once a Razorback, always a Razorback. No matter where they've been, where they head next. That saying not only sticks with Tim Siegel, Bobby Bank, and Simon Robinson. It takes on new meaning.
We met here at the University of Arkansas in the fall of '82. Tim, Bobby, and I were all freshmen.
They've been friends for decades, and that bond only grew stronger more than 4 years ago. After 23 years, Tim retired from his job leading the Texas Tech men's tennis team in July of 2015 to spend more time with his family. Just 20 days later, July 28th, he received a call that his son Luke was in an accident in Lubbock.
I received a phone call at 2 p.m. At the time I was told that Luke had broken his nose. When we arrived at the hospital, immediately we were put into a room with a doctor who told me that Luke had suffered head and chest trauma, that he had been in cardiac arrest for 7 minutes.
Luke, 9 years old at the time, was injured riding in a golf cart. The golf cart landed on his head, and Luke suffered an anoxic brain injury. An injury on the brain due to lack of oxygen. Bobby had just talked to Tim 2 hours before the accident.
Well, I heard about it actually from my wife, right? I was on the tennis court and had just come off, and she had texted me. My thought process was, I got to get there.
When he called me about what had happened to Luke, I hopped in my car, drove over to Lubbock, and was there through that horrible stage of Luke having several brain operations.
It was 8 long, grueling days not knowing if Luke was brain dead.
We spent 44 days in Lubbock and then airlifted to Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth, where we spent 4 months. So Luke was in the hospital for 5 months. It wasn't until day 8 that we knew that Luke was not brain dead, that there was some brain activity.
Which leads to this, Luke's story of perseverance, hope, and the way it has inspired the Siegel family.
We were told that Luke would never use his limbs, never use his voice, and never open his eyes. He's doing all three. The improvement is slow, but I believe that it's certainly there and will continue to be there.
From this faith came Team Luke Hope for Minds, a nonprofit helping enrich the lives of children with brain injury, giving hope to their families, and supporting education.
We've given out over $300,000 to families in 18 different states. I had no idea what a nonprofit was prior to this. I certainly had no idea what and how often brain injuries occur in children.
Tim's mission is far from over. With his teammates by his side and through the love he has for his son, there will be help for so many other families that might need that support. The same support Tim realized he needed in those dark days after Luke's accident. For Tim, it's a message.
The name says Luke, but it's far greater than Luke, and I think we're going to learn that every year from here on out.
Team Luke, hopeforminds.org is where you can go to learn more. Siegel is the organization's executive director. Also, Bobby Bank, who you saw in that piece, helped launch an event called Play for Team Luke. It's an event every September in Fort Smith, raising money and awareness for children impacted by brain injury. And you can see more on the Siegel family on our website.